they're an extension, a replacement of the leg that you lost.
Prosthesis, it gets you to return to a normal life. That's possible.
It's a thing that lets me do most of what I would want to do and otherwise wouldn't be able to do without asking for another person's help.
What is a prosthesis? A simple answer would be that a prosthesis is an artificial device made to replace a part of somebody's body. But a basic answer like that doesn't encompass the significance a prosthesis has. Here at Dankmeyer, our answer to that question is that a prosthesis is a multitude of things. A prosthesis is a liberator. A prosthesis is a special piece of engineering. A prosthesis is a challenge. A prosthesis is a team.
To me, a prosthesis or a prosthetic limb it's something that's going to make you return back to a semi-normal life or a completely normal life. If you have an amputation.
No matter the location of or reason for a loss of a limb, also known as an amputation, the purpose of a prosthesis breaks down to two options: to solely appear like a limb, or to perform similar functions that a limb normally would. Sometimes people want both appearance and function in a prosthesis. This functionality can include walking, running, and going up the stairs for those who had a leg or both legs amputated, and picking up objects for those who had an arm or both arms amputated. Functionality can also mean performing much more complicated actions. The level of functionality always depends on what each person wants out of a prosthesis in order to feel right with wearing one.
I'm extremely active. I snowboard, I downhill ski, I mountain bike. I had done all of these things prior to the injury while I was still having my foot. And I just want to be able to do it again.
Amputations usually take away certain functions from someone's everyday life, so it is important that a prosthesis provides a means to restore those functions for the wearer in the future.
For some reason, that movement in the ankle allows my mind to embrace as if that was a real foot.
Whether a leg or arm loss, the sizes of a prosthesis vary and are dependent on what kind of amputation somebody undergoes. Prostheses can be made for small amputated limbs, like an amputation of a part of someone's foot or hand, or for completely amputated limbs, like an amputation of someone's entire leg or arm. The complexity of a prosthesis wildly varies on what type of limb loss someone experiences and what level of functionality is wanted on the prosthesis. The muscles and bones in your body are specifically made and placed to make simple motions that we often don't think about, like walking, doable and more difficult motions like cartwheels possible. The human body is a complex system, and if an area is drastically harmed, normal functions can be nearly impossible to perform again. However, normal functions for amputated limbs, also known as residual limbs, are possible with prostheses because they are made to mimic the lost bones and muscles as much as possible.
I could sense myself losing balance or moving in a direction I didn't want, and without moving my legs, just my body, I can correct that and get myself stable again.
All types work well, but the success of a prosthesis is all dependent on what feels best and most natural for the person wearing it, and not on which one is the most advanced or most expensive.
The fit is critical, and if you don't pay attention to what you're doing and take care of yourself, you will and can do serious injury to yourself.
Now, someone might assume that once they have their prosthesis, they're ready to go back into the world as they did beforehand. However, even with the most advanced prostheses in the market, they are not perfect, and wearers have to relearn basic skills with the prosthesis. While mimicking a leg or arm is what a prosthesis is meant to do, actually using a prosthesis will likely feel different from what a leg or arm once felt like. It can also take a lot of time and determination to overcome the difficulties that come with receiving a prosthesis, but thankfully, no one is alone when dealing with this hardship.
When I had Mark, he made every leg identical. When I stepped out of the trailing leg into the Cadillac, it was the same setup. It wasn't the same components, but the leg felt the same when I put it on. And now I have Becca. She's awesome. She's just like Mark, maybe a little better.
A prosthesis is a tool, but without someone knowledgeable in working with the tool, it is useless. For this kind of tool, it takes a team of people to properly work with the prosthesis at every step of the wearer's journey. Prosthetists help people receive the best treatments and prostheses that best suit them. Prostheses are custom made and specially tailored for the wearer. It takes time for people to get the right prosthesis, but a prosthetist will always be with them every step of the way. And when someone finds the right prosthetic limb that feels and fits just right, prosthetists will still be around in case any new challenges show up. Physical therapists provide exercises that reteach skills like walking and more with a prosthesis and help people get comfortable with the new limb and its abilities.
I've only ever used just the one because I guess she was good enough for me to get back to where I needed to be. And I've only ever come to Tankmeyer for service, and they've been terrific.
It still takes time for someone to fully adjust and feel completely comfortable in the new limb, but this team will always be there for you. The goal of this team is to make sure the wearer succeeds in any way they desire, and everyone plays a part in accomplishing that success, including the wearer.
Instead of looking at it as, okay, I can't do this, it's looking at it from, okay, I can't do this, what else can I do to replace that? Or is there another way I can accomplish that same thing?
You're going to be your own kind of beautiful. This is an extension of you. I put my shoes on every morning just like everybody else does.